While Dungeons & Dragons is experiencing something of a cultural resurgence, we wouldn't blame the average person for giving it a skeptical side-eye glance. While D&D is great, it can be kinda rules-heavy, and its generic fantasy setting isn't for everybody. So with that in mind, here are some alternatives to D&D that you can use to turn your less nerdy friends into tabletop converts. It's another history of RPGs, powered by Summoner's War. And here's our episode, non-D&D RPGs to get your friends into tabletop gaming. Look, I don't choose the titles. Number 5, Fiasco. If you love movies where a bunch of idiots attempt to caper and it all goes wrong, then you'll love Fiasco. It takes the best parts of a Coen Brothers dark comedy and makes you and all your friends the participants, improvising plot twists, betrayals, and idiotic failures at every turn. The actual role-playing system is simple as hell. There's no game master, no preparation, and you only need 4 people and a handful of 6-sided dice. It's easy, it's funny, and it's probably the least nerdy role-playing game on there, in case your friends care about that kind of shit. But like, if they do, just get new friends. They sound judgy. Number 4, Apocalypse World. Fun title. This is a game set in a punk rock post-apocalypse, where the character classes have names like the Battle Babe, the Gunlugger, and the Chopper. You get XP not for defeating monsters, but by trying weird shit the other players would like to see you attempt. Stuff you'll almost certainly be bad at, which will create more drama for the group. There are bonuses for your character having consensual sex with other players. Fun! Unlike Fiasco, this game does require a GM, but it also specifically forbids the players from doing any prep work. My kind of game. The GM may help the players on an interesting path, but Apocalypse World is very much a collaborative storytelling RPG, where players have conflicting desires that keep them at one another's throats, even while they're working towards the same goal. It may sound grim, but it's funny, badass, and a whole lot of fun. Number 3, Numenera. The premise of Numenera alone makes it worth checking out. Imagine that all of human history as you know it, from the first moment we came out of the caves to whenever we all inevitably die in a hailstorm made of fire in the ashes of global warming deniers, imagine all of that as world number 1. Then imagine that another civilization arises, building off the ashes of our world, and they too grow, live, develop technology, and die. Now imagine that happens 9 times. Each civilization building off the ruins of the last one, never really understanding the purpose of the objects they found, and constantly trying to make sense of what came before. So, you might find an object that was once a fuel rod for a spaceship that looked like a moose, but now it's more useful if you wrap it against something really hard and then throw it like a grenade. It's alive! That sounds great. Numenera is a fantastic, weird sci-fi setting where anything is possible. Instead of just killing monsters and getting loot, Numenera players will be solving puzzles, uncovering weird secrets about the world, and having to find imaginative uses for the odd artifacts they've collected from ages past. What's great about Numenera is that, in a lot of ways, anything goes so long as it's weird and imaginative. Want to set the players on a continent that's actually the gigantic body of a slumbering god? Go ahead! Want to give them a hat that duplicates anyone who wears it so long as that person is named Terry? Yeah, sure! Numenera is weird and not for everybody, but that's what makes it special. And not for Terrys. Power! Number 2, Call of Cthulhu. If you like spooky shit, and solving mysteries, and playing a game where there's an extremely high chance that everyone will die or go insane, then there's things that you need to deal with, but Call of Cthulhu is a game that you should play. It's not any less complicated than Dungeons & Dragons, and it's certainly a hell of a lot more punishing. But if your friends aren't into wizards and elves, then maybe they'll be more interested in cultists, mysteries, and 1920s Americana. You might want to dip a toe into this Lovecraftian setting, or if you want a more modern version of the same type of thing, check out Delta Green, which is basically Cthulhu meets X-Files. All the fun of going insane and dying of fright, plus M16 assault rifles. Number 1, Dread. All you need to play this one-shot horror RPG is a few friends and a game of Jenga. Yep, really, Jenga. There's no dice rolling. When a player wants to do something difficult, they have to remove a piece from a Jenga tower and put it on top. If the tower stays standing, they're fine. If it topples, their character dies. It's that simple, and somehow, it works. The tension of watching the Jenga tower teeter perfectly heightens the drama of what's going on in your story. And as characters get more desperate, they'll have to start pulling more blocks. It couldn't be simpler. And I guess if you don't like pretending to be another person, there's still like regular Jenga. That's our list of the non-D&D RPGs to get your friends into tabletop gaming. Hey, leave a comment below and let us know if there were any tabletop gaming things that you think that we should get into. We're pretty new to this, but we're looking to get into a new experience. So help us help you help us.